so all of us have in our different books, not necessarily the one you're working on right now, JC, but we have people who speak in a slightly more archaic way. I was thinking, I've got, you guys haven't encountered this in my book yet, but and we've talked about how it's really a struggle to get that voice down right. What would you guys think about having like AI look at your document? And this is kind of a philosophical question for our listeners. Have an AI look at our manuscripts and point out all like the anachronisms, all the times where the archaic language doesn't feel as natural. How would you guys feel about that?
I think that would be interesting. That was one of the things I learned when I bought Pro Writing Aid, actually. They will pick up on like non-English standard spellings and like older dialect. And so to me, it was interesting that I was using a lot of non-American English spellings in my writing. For example, towards. How many of us use towards in our everyday language? In American English, the standard is toward without the S. And I was like, really? To me, it was interesting, and I think having something analyze, especially like iridescent for me. Adam, your book just in general has got the older feel to it because it is a fantasy setting. I think that would be an interesting to see, where we're fitting in with our language, whether it's staying consistent or not.
Yeah. And this is something I find pretty interesting. I on a moral level, I have no problem like taking my manuscript and feeding it to Grok and say, "Help me," because I'm using it. I'm using it like an analytical tool. It's an evolution of the spell checker and Grammarly in one sense. As far as analyzing the anachronisms that your characters use, because I'm sure like you guys have already pointed out in previous sessions, I'm kind of like mixing things, right? You have speech that I would use in my everyday life mixed with, Tolkien-esque speech. You're like, what the heck is going on here? So I feel like having a range can be beneficial if one character is given to that sort of speech, as long as the other character isn't using like modern American slang, and dropping F-bombs, like instead of fantasy swears. Like it, I think there is a certain amount of range that's acceptable. One character's a scholar. They're going to be a little bit more erudite, and one character's a street thug.